Afternoon, girls. So far, we have completed 2 units in digital communication completely. And coming to the third unit, I gave you introduction about uh, error correction and detection. And I have done with the first topic, that is parity check. Today, we will learn about CRC, that is cyclic redundancy check. Cyclic redundancy check is also called as CRC shortly. It is a kind of cyclic code. Remember this point. Now, a cyclic redundancy check is an error detecting code which is commonly used in digital networks and storage devices to detect accidental changes to raw data. Now, parity check is an error detection method which can detect one bit error in binary data in the communication part. But whereas CRC is an error detecting code which is commonly used in digital networks and storage devices to detect accidental changes to raw data. Blocks of data entering these systems get a short check value attached based on the remainder of polynomial division of their contents. Now, whenever we talk about CRC, we have to remember a detection process will be carried out by synthetic division method using a dividend and divisor. The remainder which we get, the quotient will be exempted, and the remainder which you get will be the code. Okay, in this point he is explaining that only. Blocks of data entering these systems get a short check value attached to it, and based on the remainder of polynomial division of their contents on the retrieval, when the receiver receives the block of data, the calculation is repeated again, and if the check values do not match, corrective action, that means action will be taken so that the error will be corrected against data corruption. CRCs can be used for error correction also. It is used for detection and correction. It is used to detect accidental changes in the data, and it is used for correcting the data using polynomial division method. I will explain you what is polynomial division clearly in the coming slides. CRCs are so called because the check value is a redundancy. Redundancy means extra bits or extra byte which is added to the actual information, and the algorithm is based on cyclic codes. I told you it is a form of cyclic code, but not perfectly. Now, CRCs are popular because they are simple to implement in binary hardware, easy to analyze mathematically, and particularly good at detecting common errors which are caused by noise in transmission channels. Because the check value has the fixed length, remember this point, check value which is added as redundancy to the block of data is of fixed length itself. The function that generates it is occasionally used as hash function. CRCs are based on the theory of cyclic error correcting codes, the use of systematic cyclic codes. If you remember, when I spoke about introduction to error correction and detection, I told you errors will be of two types, systematic errors and non-systematic errors. Systematic errors will add an extra bits or extra data which for the actual data which has been transmitted, but asystematic non-systematic will request to send, simply to say re it will request for retransfer of the data. That is the difference between systematic and non-systematic errors. If you remember, I have covered this point already. Now, CRCs are based on the theory of cyclic error correcting codes. The use of systematic cyclic codes which encode messages by adding a fixed length of check value. What is telling? For example, I will consider an example. I will send the data called 88 in binary form through transmission channel. So 88 means how many bits? 18 will carry 4 bits of binary data. So if you want to transmit 88, it will be 8 bits. No, now the length of the data which I am sending is fixed, that is 8 bits. But if you are following CRC process, 8 plus n bits will be, some n bits will be added to the data which is of fixed length check value. Cyclic codes are not only simple to implement but have the benefit of being particularly well suited for the detection of burst errors. Now, the data which I am sending is of 8 bits, but after adding redundancy bits, 8 will be increased. Say for example 12 bits. Okay, now the 8 bits, the actual 8 bits is the data, and the remaining 4 bits are the redundancy bits which I will add so that the receiver will understand, depending on the detection method, whether the information is clearly received without any errors. Now burst errors means in this 12 bits of data, first 8 bits is the actual data, 9, 10, 11, 12 is the redundancy bits. So in that 4 bits, if there is any error, burst error specially means in the remaining 4 bits, first bit and last bit will be error ones. Remaining 2 bits in the center will be proper. I will explain you in a picture. There's a picture in the slide. With that, I will explain you it clearly. Burst errors I will explain. Now, what is saying? It has a benefit of being particularly well suited for the detection of burst errors. Continuous sequences of erroneous data symbols in messages. This is important because burst errors are common transmission errors in many communication channels, including magnetic and optical storage devices. Typically, an n-bit CRC applied to a data block of arbitrary length, which will detect single burst error not longer than n bits. And the fraction of all longer error bursts that will detect are 1 minus 2 in bracket minus n, that is total 1 minus 2 minus n. Now here we can understand what is burst error. Now the data I have sent is mentioned in the first block, data which is received is sent in second block. Now the length of burst errors redundancy bits are 5 bits. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the same thing the receiver will receive, but the change is first and last bits are changed. If you observe, the remaining are same. So burst errors means apart from the data, the extra bits which are allotted in that first and last bits will be different. They will be erroneous, and this kind of errors are called burst errors. Okay, now coming to next part of the slide. Specification of CRC code requires definition of a so-called generator polynomial. In the first slide we have learned CRC is based on synthetic polynomial division method. Specification of CRC code requires definition of generator polynomial. This polynomial becomes divisor in the polynomial long division method, which takes the message as the dividend. For division method, you need divider, divisand, and quotient. Quotient is what we get through the process, and remainder is the result. What will happen here? Polynomial becomes the divisor in the long division method, message will be the dividend, and in which quotient will be discarded. He will not consider the quotient, and the remainder becomes the result of CRC. The important thing is that polynomial coefficients are calculated according to the arithmetic mean of a finite field. So the addition operation can always be performed bitwise parallelly. Bitwise parallelly means actually you do not know the concept of adding 2 bits at a time, adding 3 bits at a time. That you will come across when you are in next year. Like bitwise parallel means actually to add 2 binary bits we will use a adder. Okay, if you want to add more than 2 bits, then you will use parallel binary adder. It is also called as bitwise parallel adder. For time being, you remember bitwise parallel adder means it can add more than 2 bits at a time, considering the carry. Okay. A CRC is called an n-bit CRC when its check value. Once again, I will repeat the first paragraph. The important point of the first paragraph is regarding the polynomial. What it will do? It will define generator polynomial, and then generated polynomial method. What will happen? The polynomial itself becomes the divisor, and the message will become dividend. When you divide dividend with divisor, you will get the quotient. That quotient will be discarded, and the remainder becomes the result. Okay. This point you have to mention compulsorily whenever you get CRC. A CRC is called an n-bit CRC when its check value is n bits long. For a given n, multiple CRCs are possible, each with a different polynomial. Such a polynomial has highest degree n, which means that it has n plus 1 terms. This is similar to factorization. Now, if you want to factorize a polynomial, depending upon the degree, it will have its roots, right? Depending upon the result, depending upon the degree, it will have its roots. If it is having n degree, n plus 1, right? Similarly here also, polynomial has a highest degree, which means it will have n plus 1 terms. In other words, the polynomial has a length of n plus 1 and its encoding requires n plus 1 bits. This point also will clearly understand whenever you see an example. The simplest error detection system, the parity bit, is in fact a 1-bit CRC. You have seen parity, even or odd parity, only one bit will be changed according to the even or odd parity. And there are only two possible conditions for that bit, either 0 or 1. It uses the generator polynomial x plus 1. Here he has already told that it will require n plus 1 terms. If we consider the terms as x plus 1 terms, and the name is CRC1 because it is having 1 bit extra. Now coming to applications. A CRC enabled device calculates a short fixed length binary sequence which is known as check value or CRC for each block of data which is to be sent or stored, and appends it and continues it to the data, framing a code word. You already know what is a code word. Other than the redundancy bits added, the remaining bits are called code word. Redundancy bits are called parity bits. This we have studied in parity check. When a code word is received or read, the device either compares its check value with one freshly calculated from data block, or it will equivalently perform CRC on the whole code. Performing CRC means dividing it using a polynomial, using a generator polynomial. Okay, performs a CRC on the whole word, on the whole code word, and compares the result check value with an expected residue constant. If CRC values do not match, then it is clearly an error. So if the CRC values do not match, then the block contains a data error. The device may take corrective action such as rereading the block or requesting it to be sent again. Rereading the block or requesting request that it has to be sent again. This comes under non-systematic. Otherwise, the data is assumed to be error-free. Though with some small probability, it may contain undetected errors. This is inherent of nature for error checking. Now, data integrity. CRCs are specifically designed to protect against common types of errors on communication channels, where they can provide quick and reasonable assurance of integrity of messages delivered. However, they are not suitable for protecting against intentional alteration of data. For this, I can give the best example as your emails. Whenever we exchange some data or information through emails, if any small word or a letter or a number or a character is misplaced, or if it is pronounced in a capital letter, what our email will send, that delivery to the following recipient failed due to some reason. It will that is the best example here. Firstly, as there is no authentication, an attacker can edit a message and recomputes the CRC without the substitution being detected. When stored alongside this paragraph is actually optional. CRCs are cryptographic hash functions by themselves, do not protect against intentional modification of data. Any application that requires protection against such attacks must use cryptographic authentication. For this cryptographic authentication, our WhatsApp encryption, data encryption is the best example. Whenever you send a text message or any kind of message through WhatsApp to a new user or a new contact list, it will immediately tell you this is equipped by end-to-end encryption. There is a concept called encryption and decryption. Encryption means whatever we send will be seen only by the receiver. Not even WhatsApp will know what you have sent. If you want to know, you have to decrypt the data through the server. Then only the third party will understand what you have sent. Okay, this is called encryption and decryption. Simply in digital electronics, we called it as encoding and decoding. Simply, in simple words, if I want to tell, I will tell you some information through verbal language, and only you and me will know what I have sent, what you have received. If you want the third person to know what we have discussed, either I should reveal or you should reveal. Generating is coding, revealing is encoding. Okay, try to understand. Secondly, unlike cryptographic hash functions, CRC is an easily reversible function which makes it unsuitable for use in digital signatures. Thirdly, CRC is a linear function with a property. Linear function with a property that is nothing but actually this point is not necessary. You write only three main points. There is no authentication, and it is unlike cryptographic hash functions, and it is easily reversible, and it has a linear function property is enough. I did not extend the property because it is a very lengthy mathematical equation which is not actually necessary. Okay. Now designing the polynomials. The selection of generator polynomial is the most important part of implementing the CRC algorithm. The polynomial must be chosen to maximize the error detecting capability while minimizing overall collision probabilities. There are 2 points hidden in that. First point, it must be chosen. Generator polynomial must be chosen to maximize error detecting capability while at the same time it has to minimize overall collision probabilities. Now next point. The most important attribute of the polynomial is its length. I already told you. If n is considered as length n plus 1, if x is considered as length x plus 1, where x is the largest degree of the polynomial. The most commonly used polynomial lengths are 9 bits, which will have 8 degree. So n plus 1, 8 plus 1, 9 bits, 16 bit. So the generator polynomial will be 16 plus 1. Similarly 32, 32 plus 1 and 64, 64 plus 1. Now the specifications are exclusive OR gates will fix the bit pattern, bit order, byte order, omission of higher order bit and omission of lower order bit. These are the specifications. Now whenever you consider the algorithm, generator polynomial algorithm, this is the block diagram for generator polynomial algorithm on both sender and receiver side. If you see at the sender side, I am creating a data which is represented by n and I am sending to you, and the data will be in binary format represented by n. Now divisor polynomial or division algorithm will be followed using n plus 1 bits. I already told you. After that the result will be CRC which will be n bits. Now I have to send this CRC result to the receiver in the reverse order. What it will do? It will have both data and result, n and result. What the receiver will do? It will cross check. It will cross check the data using CRC generator polynomial, and it will check whether it is getting n plus 1 bits or not. And after that, remainder is the result. It will consider the remainder with the CRC n bit. If the remainder is 0, then what it will do? It will accept. If the remainder is not 0, it will reject. It is accepting means that is error free data. If it is rejecting means that it has error in that data which is received. That is the meaning. In this example, I have taken a data called 10010000 as the dividend, and the divisor is 1101. This is a usual synthetic division method. Little bit clearly we can understand in this. Okay, this 4-bit data will be multiplied either with 1 or 0 because there are only two possibilities. Since it is binary method and it contains binary data, there are only two possibilities to be multiplied, either 1 or 0. Now consider the first 4 bits, 1001 of the dividend. Now if I multiply 1101 with 1, you will get 1101. Now here you have to subtract these values. 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0. Here you have to remember in subtraction, that is 0 minus 1. If you want to subtract lower number from higher number, we have to borrow something. So if you perform 0 minus 1, borrow will be 1 and result will be 0. So we will consider the borrow. Borrow is 1. Okay. Now for the next 4 bits, I will draw one 0 here, so that the data is 1000 now. Again I will multiply it with 1, because multiplying it with 0, if I multiply this data with 0, this will be completely 0. So I will multiply it with 1, so that the result again is 1110. Again I will subtract these two. 0 minus 1, borrow is 1, result is similarly 0 minus 0, 1. I will carry one more 0 down. Okay, the data is 1010 now. So now also there is no probability of multiplying the dividend with 1, with 0. So I will multiply it with 1 only. The result will be 1101. Again if I subtract 0 minus 1, borrow is 1, result is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. 0 minus 0, 0 minus 1 is 1. I am getting down the another 0. Now the result is 3110. For this also we have to multiply the data with 1 once again. I will get the result as 110. Now again by subtracting this, the data will be 110. There are two zeros in this. So probably we can take a 0 to be multiplied, so that the result is 0000. After subtracting this, the data is 1101. I will carry the last 0 down and I will multiply it with 1 again, so that I got the remainder as 0. You have to get remainder either as 0 or 1. Till you get the remainder as 0 or 1, you have to multiply the divisor with either 1 or 0 and continue the subtraction process till we get the remainder. Okay. Now this is a generator polynomial which has 4, 4, 8, 9 bits. That means it has 8-bit data, and 9th bit is a redundancy bit, and this is the dividend, and this is a divisor, and quotient is exempted, and the result will be the CRC check result. Okay, I will ask you to read, or I will ask you to go through the PPT twice if you want to understand it better. Okay, I will come up very soon with the next topic. Thank you guys.